If I were to brainwash people with like that flashy thing on their phones, just like what the leader did in this film, I would do that to Rotten Tomatoes certified users to give this a positive rating so that this movie can have a fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Captain America: Brave New World. So, Captain America: Brave New World is the fourth installment in the Captain America trilogy, the quadrilogy. The first one to not include Steve Rogers as Captain America, and the sequel to Incredible Hulk as well, technically on a narrative standpoint, as well as the second to the final film in the MCU Phase 5. And it is directed by Julius Ona, and it stars Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, Danny Ramirez, Shara Haas, Tim Blake Nelson, Giancarlo Esposito, Carl Lumbly, etc. And so the film tells the story of Sam Wilson, who is now officially the new Captain America, and Thaddeus Ross, who is now officially the U.S. president. After a mission to take down the Serpent Society, led by Sidewinder, stopping them from trying to steal parts of the adamantium from the Celestial Tiamat. Sam gets invited into a press conference at the White House alongside his friends Joaquin Torres and Isaiah Bradley, where um, Ross holds a private meeting with Sam Wilson to so that Ross can commit to his plan to rebuild the Avengers and have Sam be the one to rebuild the new Avengers. The press conference talks about the adamantium and how and how world presidents are fighting to reclaim ownership of the adamantium. But during the conference, some of the attendees were hypnotized to try and end murder President Ross, and leads it to an all-out battle. And so Sam Wilson is on a quest to investigate the assassination attempt, knowing that Isaiah Bradley was not the one responsible for it. While Sam's mission is ongoing, Ross tries to deal with the president of Japan to for the U.S. to claim ownership of the adamantium from Tiamat Island, only for the U.S. and Japan to go on war with each other. So yeah, now, the Steve Rogers Captain America trilogy is one of the greatest MCU franchises of all time, and yeah, sure, it is easy for us to agree that Steve Rogers is the definitive Captain America. Chris Evans is the definitive Captain America after. And both The Winter Soldier and Civil War are some of the greatest MCU movies ever made. And yeah, Civil War was technically the final film, final Captain America film with Steve Rogers taking on the mantle. However, Sam Wilson also takes on the mantle as Captain America in the comics too. But I guess some people aren't too familiar with that. If you guys remember at the end of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers has given up his life and given up his role as Captain America in order to be with Peggy and go back in time. And Sam, when Sam gives up the shield, he gives it to Sam Wilson, like entrusting him to take on the role as Falcon. Why? It's because Sam is a good man. I mean, I know people say that Bucky should have been Captain America, but Bucky is just a good soldier. He's not that good of a man. I think he's not good enough of a person to be Captain America, even if he's a good fighter, a good soldier. And yeah, and that the shield leads into one of the earliest installments of Phase 4, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I have reviewed alongside the Captain America trilogy in preparation for this, and I absolutely love the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is my favorite Captain America project ever. I think it is absolutely perfect, and it's my second favorite MCU show of all time, second only behind, of course, Hawkeye. So it's only a matter of time before Steve gets his time to shine on the big screen as the official Captain America after going through a whole arc of him proving himself to be a worthy Captain America, no matter what the naysayers says. I will admit that I was not expecting this movie to exist, but right at at the Falcon and Winter Soldier's finale, on the same day, they announced that Captain America 4 with Anthony Mackie has been greenlit. And originally, this movie was going to feature Bucky and good old Sharon Carter as this one was supposed to go further into Sharon Carter as a power broker, and the film was I think was going to make Sharon Carter the main villain of the film, considering that Sharon Carter is the power broker. And if you guys remember the post-credit scene of the Falcon and Soldier, which is a moment I actually forgot to mention in my review of it, you all know that Sharon is actually still active as the power broker, and and all that stuff. And yeah, but due to the backlash of the decision to make Sharon Carter the power broker, the fact that people don't buy into this plot twist, the writers have decided to scrap that idea to make it like a legit continuation of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, removing any other connections plot wise that it has. So the only connection that this movie has to the show is that Sam Wilson is officially Captain America, and a new story is being told. But what they ended up with is actually a sequel to the Red Hulk, I mean the Incredible Hulk, because you have the leader as the main villain, and you have General Ross coming back, and even Betty, like stuff involving Betty and how things are going with the father and the father and daughter relationship, where like now they're both separate because Betty didn't want anything to do with Ross. But does Betty appear in the film? I won't say. You have to see the film for yourself to believe. And boy, this film had massive controversies behind the scenes, even prior to the teaser trailer of the film. Test screening flops, where it was not well received. Massive reshoots, and the full plot synopsis being leaked and read by someone who has seen the test screening. Anthony Mackie's controversial speech that Captain America does not represent America, which is a bullshit controversy, by the way, because people are just stupid, too stupid to understand, and just want to hate on things to look cool, so they just pretend that it's offensive when it's not. Also, the fact that Captain America is black and not Steve Rogers, up to the point where people would go racist mode on this film, saying that Captain Sam is not Captain America because he's black. He's Captain DI. And by the way, I got a question. Why the fuck does John Walker's Captain America get all the praise in the world while Sam's Captain America gets hate? I mean, yes, objectively, John Walker's Captain America is not a good Captain America, even if he's a well-written character. In fact, one of the most well-written characters and well-developed characters of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's not Captain America. He's like the fake Captain America. But no, apparently they think that, oh, John Walker's a more convincing Captain America than Steve Rogers. Like, really, guys? This film shaped up to be one of, if not the most polarizing MCU movies ever. And even the two trailers were extremely divisive. Where some people say that it looks actually good, while others were in denial about that and are saying that if the film has all those behind the scenes drama, then it's automatically going to fail. And as for the reviews of the film, yeah, it is divisive all around. And 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, come on, Rotten Tomatoes. Just stop hating on Marvel already. I mean, and people are saying that apparently Marvel still sucks because it's not good enough. This movie's not good enough. There's like, even if Deadpool Wolverine quote unquote saved the MCU, now people are still trashing the MCU. No one wants to admit that the MCU is improving. But I will always defend. I will always defend modern day MCU to the day I die. Fingers crossed, the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four First Steps will get good reviews. Well, I have faith in both of them. As for my thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World, after seeing it on last Wednesday in 4DX, I gotta say, Captain America: Brave New World absolutely did not let me down at all. Now, yes, I acknowledge myself. I am a Marvel shill, and I know you guys are gonna bash me in the comments saying, "Oh, Frozen, why are you giving this movie such praise? It's not that good. You're just a Marvel shill. You're just throwing criticism out of the window." Yeah, surely most of you will feel differently from me about this, especially if you're not a true MCU fan. But let's be real here. This film is harmless enough to not get hateful reviews, even if it sadly did. And I've noticed that I've noticed that people who give movies low expectations going to them would automatically hate them. The only time when people go into a movie with low expectations and then come out surprised by it is kids' movies. Yeah, I mean, good grief. And I mean family movies that are not Disney, which is extremely unfair. People just, people clearly are just prejudging this movie. They did not want to admit that this movie is surprising in any single way possible. Now, yeah, they act like they only hate this film just because they knew they're going to hate it. They did not even bother to give this movie one single ounce of chance. It is insane. Now, is it as good as the Falcon and Winter Soldier series? Absolutely not. I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier is like a top 3 MCU projects to me. Is it as good as the Winter Soldier and Civil War? No, it's not. But at least it's not the weakest Captain America movie. That would go to the first Avenger. And as a sequel to The Incredible Hulk on a narrative standpoint, yeah, as someone who isn't a fan of The Incredible Hulk at all, I gotta say, this is leaps and bounds better than The Incredible Hulk in every single way possible. This is what The Incredible Hulk should have been. Now, let's talk about the story first. Now, is the story as complex and challenging and thought-provoking as the Winter Soldier Civil War? Not really. But it's still a very compelling story that's well executed. It keeps the spy thriller roots of the Winter Soldier, resulting in one of the most grounded MCU movies in a while. What works about the story the most is how it has such a large connection with all the other MCU projects, most of them, especially the previous ones, to make things more cohesive. Even as a defender of Phase 4 and 5, I do notice one criticism people have with especially with Sean Chandler. It's that it doesn't really connect. Like they don't really connect with each other. They feel way too much like standalones. But this one, I mean, it really ties in loose ends. I mean, it not only ties up loose ends with the Incredible Hulk, but also Eternals too with the involvement of Tiamat. This is the most cohesive MCU movie post Endgame, and it's an MCU movie that actually feels like phases 2 and 3 of the MCU. I'd say late phase 2 or early phase 3. It feels like that level of quality in the MCU. No, I mean not in like the veins of just Civil War or Endgame or Infinity War. No, not even close. So to Infinity War, but Endgame, but still. And I will say the politics is well executed too. It like just like with the other Captain America projects in the Falcon Winter Soldier, the politics feels so genuine and it feels so real, like as if it took inspiration from real life political events. Seeing the US and Japan battle each other to claim the ownership of Tiamat and the Adamantium feels like it took inspiration from the Philippines and China fighting over the South China Sea. And yeah, that's how genuinely real it felt. And I know people will not like how politically correct it is. But like what I said in my Falcon Winter Soldier review, don't get way too bothered by that. Just judge this as its own thing. And yeah, just enjoy the movie for what it is. Or enjoy the story without getting bothered by all the politics. I love how the actual storyline gets straight to the point. There are only two major plot lines in the film that are easy to follow and actually do connect with each other, which are the U.S. and Japan fighting each other to claim Tiamat and the assassination attempt on the president, which was more than just an assassination attempt. I mean, is Sam Wilson as strong of a Captain America as Steve Rogers? No, and but Sam Wilson is a worthy Captain America. He didn't even need to be good as Steve Rogers. He just needed to be Captain America, and all this and it worked. And I love how the movie acknowledges that, especially when you have a line in the film that says, "You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers." And they even mentioned that that Sam is not Steve. He's not the level. He doesn't even have the super soldier serum on him. But what makes him a good Captain America, a great one at that, is that he has the characteristics and the values of Captain America. Plus, Captain America isn't the kind of hero where only one person can take on the mantle. If Black Panther can have more than one person take on the mantle of the hero, so can Captain America. Yeah, the film like knows this, and it's not Sam isn't trying to be emo. He's not trying to force himself to be on Steve's level. It's genuine. Anthony Mackie gives it all with his excellent performance. Now, one of the most controversial aspects of the film was the casting of Shara Haas, considering the fact that she's an Israelite. But Shara Haas did really well in the film, and Ruth slash Sabra is actually one of the standouts. And she contributed much more to the story than we'd expect. And considering the fact that she's actually one of the Black Widows who trained at the Red Room, yeah, you can clearly tell that because there was a scene where she was a total badass, and I love how she eventually joined Sam and Joaquin on the journey. And speaking of Joaquin, yeah, Joaquin, aka the new Falcon, he was at his best yet. The chemistry between Sam and Joaquin was on point, and you can clearly feel them be brothers. Oh, and also Isaiah as well. Isaiah is such a slept-on character, and and the relationship between Sam and Isaiah, they've really gone far since Falcon and Winter Soldier, and the mission of Sam trying to investigate the assassination attempt on the president actually is actually very personal because the reason why Sam is doing all of this it's to prove that Isaiah is actually innocent and so he can be free. He's doing this for a person, not just for the sake of the world. That's how personal and grounded this movie is. This movie is. But the clear standard of the film's cast is easily Harrison Ford, which does not come as a surprise. Harrison Ford gives his best performance since Blade Runner 2049. And that's just a lot considering that Harrison Ford has not been that good lately. He was okay in the Call of the Wild. I mean, he was good in the Call of the Wild, but not mind blowing. This is like Blade Runner 2049 levels of greatness for Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, yeah, and no offense to William Hurt, and may he rest in peace, but Ford was easily the superior actor as Thaddeus Ross. In fact, I can imagine what William Hurt's version of Ross would be like in the context of the film. Ford's Ross was different, but in a good way. But yeah, the standout aspect of the film by far has to be the action. Like, oh, the action is so good, man. The action, like for an MCU film that's under 2 hours, there were a lot of action scenes, and all of them were such a hit. Like from Captain America taking versus Sidewinder twice to the assassinate that one scene that where it's an assassination attempt on the president and the White House massacre and Steve and more Serpent Society fights and all that stuff what else oh and also two action scenes in a particular like clear stood from the rest. Oh, and also the highway fight involving Ruth as Black Widow, as a Black Widow variant called Saba. Yeah, there were two action scenes that I would say are among the are a top tier MCU action. One of them is the battleship sequence at Tiamat, which was and the other is Captain America versus Red Hulk. While Red Hulk was only in the film for 5 minutes, he did not feel wasted at all. As I did go in knowing that he was only going to show up for 5 minutes, it didn't make sense as to why he barely was in the film. As this whole movie was basically a build up to the Red Hulk transformation, and it's technically the origin story of Red Hulk. And also the CGI of Red Hulk, absolutely perfect. Now, I was a little worried that people were gonna hate on, like, we're saying that, oh, they ruined Red Hulk because of basically how Sam, quote unquote, defeats Red Hulk. Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything of about the film. I'll just say that Red Hulk does not die, but yeah, I mean, how Sam beats the Red Hulk may split audiences, but I'm glad that people were mostly satisfied with Red Hulk in this. The leader may be the weakest aspect of the film, but he's still a solid villain, better than he was in the Incredible Hulk, and he his design, which looked different from the comics. I thought that he had a better design. His movie design is better than the comics design with his like big brain. Yeah, I think this one looked better. I can imagine his big brain CGI wouldn't have been that good, and or either that or people would have complained about it. Complained about it. So oh yeah, Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder is the better villain of the film to me. While his screen time certainly was limited, he had far more screen time than I was expecting. And while I'm not gonna spoil anything, there were some cameo appearances that would make audiences cheer. So overall, Captain America: Brave New World proves that the Captain America franchise is truly one of the best franchises in the MCU, considering how good it was. Even one of the weaker entries in the MCU still managed to be this good. It is among the top 15 MCU movies, and that is a high bar coming from someone like me. Yeah, and yeah, even though this movie got a rotten rating, I think you may still be surprised by this. Just go into this movie with an open mind and form your own opinion on it. Oh, and the 4DX experience was absolutely incredible. One of the best 4DX experiences I've ever had, and it proves that 4DX really is, to me, the best theater, the best way of watching movies. Even if I'm not gonna keep watching every single movie in 4DX, because not every movie is worth it in 4DX. So that said, guys, I'm going to give Captain America: Brave New World 5 stars out of 5. Masterpiece movie. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention one thing. My only nitpick of this film is that Rosa Salazar sadly got cut. Sure, she was supposed to be like a minor character playing one of the Serpent Society members, which I would have been fine with as a minor role, but damn, they should not have cut her out like that. But I guess it's still nitpick. It's still a flawless movie. And yeah, if I were to rank the Captain America movies, the projects, it would be number five is the first Avenger. Number four is Brave New World. Number three is The Winter Soldier. Number two is Civil War, and on coming on top for me is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So yeah, that's all for my review of Captain America: Brave New World. Oh, and by the way, one more thing before I conclude. If only they went with the plot line of Sharon Carter being the power broker, and made this be like a straight up continuation of Falcon Brave Soldier narratively. This actually would have been the best Captain America movie. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Brave New World? Would you agree with me that Brave New World is an underrated gem? Which, by the way, this is tied with Quantumania as the most underrated MCU movie ever. Or do you think that Brave New World was a massive disappointment? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. Bye, guys.